of All Star Talk, and we are going to be here talking about all kinds of great things involving the show. We'll be talking about getting to hear from some of our roster, all right, well as talking about the show that we'll be seeing later today and what a card that we have. Hopefully, also we'll get to hear from our new head of creative Turbo. Oh, but right now I would like for us to start off with talking with one of the members of our roster, and I would like to call up uh, Christian Tracy.
Okay.
Hello, Christian Tracy. It's
Mm,
nice for you to
hello.
join us here on All Star Talk.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and I want to say you think it's been your starts here to All Star Wrestling has been interesting. You first started off tag teaming with Cody Hagan as part of the Rebel Nation, but now you have joined forces with Franco, and he has gone to be the tag team partner of Cody. You seem to be focused with your singles action, and you'll be having your first singles match here tonight. I and what will be a very interesting match. Do you think you're ready to go at this one on one?
Well, with Franco, he's a great guy. I know we might have known this since when we first met and all that, but after a bit of a while and all that, I started to grow an alliance with him. Cody, I enjoy him as a tag team with him as the Reverenators, as you said. I mean, he's like a brother to me and all that. But with him, teaming with Franco, I'm okay with it here in the in ASW. With me starting with my with me starting in the singles competition without Hagen, as a tag team and all that, I'm okay with it. I wanted to try something different. I wanted to try to, start on something new, start up a singles career here in ASW and I just I'm excited to start off. You can always say expect the unexpected. That's what I always say.
As well, we do know you will be facing off against Don Daniels. Now, last time we saw Don Daniels, he calls himself the Tank, and it's definitely shown why. In his last match, he really showed how powerful he can be when he fought up against Tiny Boy. Do you have a plan to deal with this kind of power, and is it expected that the members of Reckless Intent are going to help you in this match?
Well, I have a feeling that, with Reckless Intent, I know I have a good connection with all the members and all that. Um, all I can say is if all I can say is that all I do is just put up a great fight with him. If he tries to knock me down, I'll get back up and just do my best to win and all that.
All right. Well, I definitely wish you luck in your match, and I'm sure have you guys celebrated last week. As last week we saw Reckless Intent return with a great tag team victory. And we'll
Hmm.
see if Reckless Intent will be celebrating once again tonight.
Yeah, we never know what can happen.
Yep. Well, thank you, and that will be all.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you heard it from Christian Tracy. He feels pretty confident in his chances up against Don Daniels. We'll be seeing how well that will go later tonight. As we were going to now move on with, speaking of Reckless Intent, we also have one of the other members, Franco Ritchie.
What's going on, people? What's going on? How y'all doing today?
Hello, Franco. As you heard from your one of your members of Reckless Intent, Christian. He feels quite confident in tonight going up against the tank. He calls himself Don Daniels.
Yes. Well, now everybody always, talks mess about about the fraction by record intent that we, this and that. But one thing that I always tell my family, my members, we always go out with a fight. Don't matter we win or lose. Our hearts is what we do at. We put our hearts on the ring every time we in there. I know for a fact that my boy Christian tonight, whether he loses or wins, he will know put up a good fight against a tank. I had none but respect for my boy, none respect for the tank. By the end of the day, we will come on top.
Mm.
I don't care. I don't care. Anybody says this and that, but I know Christian will come on top, and I will let him succeed in his singles match. I know he'll be a great champion one day in this company.
Now, of course, we will be seeing Reckless Intent at ringside. Is it going to be expected that you guys might get involved?
Mm, no, if anything is too hectic, then we will get involved. But like I said before, I got faith in my boy Christian. If he can handle it, he will handle it, and he will succeed.
Well, if anything, it's a D taken from the last match we saw of Don Daniels. I mean, he had no problem getting extremely aggressive from starting with power bomb, using his one finishing maneuver, the power bomb on the outside, and then following up with it immediately with a jackhammer to finish off Tiny. We might see that that happen again, and that would definitely be we just gotta hope that Christian doesn't get hurt, because this definitely doesn't seem to be a guy who is worried about the safety of others. I do want to ask though, we saw last week, you and Cody, first time tag team. We've seen you tag team with a few others. People have left ASW and then people joined to tag team with you. You seem to have done well with anyone you have tag team up to this point, and that showed when you and Cody got a victory against DIFH. What is the With this victory, is this going to lead you guys to more victories and to try to get to the tag team titles again?
Yes, it would. See, with me as being the leader of Reckless, I make sure that I put the most effort into us getting victories. As you've seen before, as my old partner Sinistrad, when we was together, we dominated every tag team. We showed why we were that tag team in the division. Any other companies that knows about us knows about me and Sinistrad, and they know how of a public force we are. Now with Cody, again, respect to my boy Cody, he showed me that he can handle that being a partner with me. He showed me that he can be on my level when it comes to the ring. And now once we succeed into that title reign, I'm gonna show everybody that whether if it's I'm partner from Reckless or running to be our regular partner, I will show everybody why I was dominant when I hold that title. Me and Cody will take over the tag team division again. And I will prove to everybody that once you're in the ring with Reckless, we will get Reckless and buy me anything to get a victory.
Well, I say I do remember your times with your other partners, and you always were a great tag team. But if it's one thing that Reckless has not been able to do here in All Star is get the tag title, I'm sure you have saw at our last pay-per-view, which we thought would never happen. The first ever tag champions of the Brooklyn Finest finally fell to Alpha in the Fatal 4-Way elimination match. Now, do you feel that this could be your opportunity to finally get to the tag titles if when Baltimore finally puts in the rematch, if they can't get defeat Alpha, do you feel that Reckless Intent is the team to beat them?
Without a doubt, I believe we will get that mission accomplished.
All
If
right.
not, then I'm bringing anything on myself. Not being as a leader, but I'm putting that extra power until getting them belts. Now, with like I said, with Alpha, they're a good fraction, they're a good team. But I believe I see cracks in it. Now, if me and Cody are going to go for them titles, we gotta hit them where it hurts and hit them really hard. Cause I would not rest, I would not eat until those titles are around our waist and home to Reckless Intent.
All right. Well, you heard it here from him. I hope I give good luck to Reckless Intent as they continue on with their with everything they're trying to accomplish, and I will hope to see you at our with for another episode of All Star Talk.
Same here, man. Same here.
All right. Well, that very big words from both members of Reckless Intent. They seem very confident that they are going to take over All Star Wrestling and its divisions. Only time will find out. As we're gonna move on. Speaking of dominance and factions, let's get with one half of the tag team champions, Chance Nightwalker.
Oh man. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm waking up. I heard Reckless Intent talking, and it was just so Snoresville. Like they make all these promises and threats, and we all know it's never gonna come to fruition. They had chance after chance, pun intended, because Chance is talking. Tag champion Chance, that is, and they just keep falling short. Hopefully, they get the opportunity to come face us. I heard Franco say something about seeing cracks in our armor. Well, I would love to see him try to dent that armor because Demented and I are very well gelled, and well, we won't hesitate to break him.
Uh, Well, I mean, maybe he's saying this because up to this point, excuse me, Alpha hasn't been doing the best. I mean, you all were in the same boat. You've had opportunities. You all were really winning matches in our last season, but come the end of the season, you guys won the tag titles. We saw last week Alex Wolf defeating a debuting star who looked like he gave him a pretty good fight, but in the end it was Wolf who came out with the victory. It does seem that now Alpha has very much changed their attitude and has been racking up the victories.
You see, the thing about that is we were looking at things from a different perspective. We had a few people with us that weren't fully with us, and we were trying to push them to the forefront instead of actually doing what we're currently doing, which is going out and executing as a unit cohesively. I see other factions try it, and Reckless being one of them, they do have the ability to function cohesively, but they just aren't alpha.
Hmm.
They're not going to be able to perform on the same level at the same caliber as us when it all boils down to it. And when the heat hits the bottom of that pot, I'm going to guarantee you, when the water starts sizzling, Reckless is going to jump.
Now, I do have something to say about this. As ever since we got into this new season, something that seems to be a thing going on right now. It seems the champions are not doing so well. It might be a new pressure with the new season. It might be the fact that now, if a champion doesn't defend their title at least once, they don't get a rematch. But we've so far have seen the openweight champion at least finally lose after his second match. We've seen the world champion lose at this point. But we at this point we also haven't really even seen the women's champion or other members of or your partner or your partner for the tag team titles and we've also seen the women's tag team champions lose. Do you feel that once your partners rise and once the women's champion rise, do you think that we're going to see a lot of new champions?
No, I don't. I don't at all. And that is not me discrediting anybody else on the roster. We've got a lot of great talent here. I'm constantly watching, especially the women's division. My God, looking at tonight's card, I'm most excited about those matches between the ladies. The Starlets are gonna kill it, mostly because well, we've got Fallen Kingdom open in the match, and nobody likes them. We've got Reckless in a couple of matches, and they're boring. Those ladies are gonna tear it down, though. But to answer your question, I don't believe that we're going to see a lot of titles changing hands because, you know, Alpha is here. We're Tidal Wave, and we are going to make sure you guys know once we have these belts, we are not letting them go.
Mm,
We haven't been seen yet because we are still weaponizing ourselves to make sure you know exactly how much of a threat we are. It's
interesting.
not that we're hiding from anybody. We're not afraid of anyone. If you want it, you can get it whenever, wherever, however. We don't even need a referee.
Well,
I'm sorry. I almost got a little too wound up. I was gonna punch the first person that I saw as soon as I walked out of this room. Not gonna lie.
Well, I do. Oh, I gotta say that is very interesting. We do know, of course, Switchblade. Speaking of titles, we do know Switchblade Rage with not only her having the opportunity tonight to take the the tag team Starlets titles tonight with her partner Cyanide. She also ended up winning an opportunity for the Starlets Championship, which she will eventually face against Ivy Pines whenever she is able to show up here in All Star Wrestling. And the same goes for you. Once Brandon can find his partner, Michael Carter, and your partner Dementa shows up, who knows when he might put in his rematch clause. And I gotta say, the previous champions, Brooklyn Finance, they held those titles for an extremely long amount of time. If I do remember right, they held those titles for 152 days. Does that put the pressure on Alpha to beat that record?
There's no pressure at all. Baltimore's Finest is a team that myself and Demented are overly familiar with. We've faced them many times throughout the world, and I can tell you time and time again, I have Brandon Ace's number. I can call him right now if you want. But I get you. I guarantee you, he's gonna pick up.
I mean, I'm
I
sure.
have that
We
man's
do
number.
have him right here, Brandon Ace. Would you like to step in? I believe Brandon Ace might be busy at the moment and won't be
He's
able to
probably
pick up.
stuffing his face at catering. You know, his diet's a little weird, so he doesn't eat as much as he should.
He also could be still in the search looking for his partner, Michael Carter, who apparently has not been seen since losing at Ragnarok in both the tag team title match and in the Ragnarok match. Well, I do hope he can find his partner. Uh, but that is all I have for you today, unless you have anything else you would like to discuss.
I'm just gonna say that that title match between Switchblade Rage and Ivy Pine is going to be incredible. Both of those women are very talented. Ivy, I can speak personally on. I trained her. I know exactly what she's capable of. And Switchblade is phenomenal. I've been watching her all over the place. I'm looking forward to that tag team title matchup with her and Iva. I'm honestly rooting for Iva Cyanide, and it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, just a
Hmm.
little bit, just a little bit.
Well, we will see. The tag champions have not had the best of luck, but we haven't really gotten to see them tag team yet in this new season. We could maybe when it comes to singles, they may not have been having the best luck, but maybe tonight they can continue to show why they were the first ever to pick up those tag team titles, the Blazing Baddies. But if not, we will see a very interesting tag team hold those belts. But I definitely thank you for joining us here on All Star, and I cannot wait to get you for next time for the show.
Definitely, man. It's always a pleasure. I will see you next time on Alpha Star Wrestling Talk. Chance
Uh,
out.
well, you heard what Nightwalker had to say on half of the All Star Tag Team titles. I was very confident in the ability of Alpha as always, and had a lot of things to say about a lot of different people in our roster. Moving on, I would like to get with. I wanted to see is Brandon Ace available now? Yes. Hello, Brandon Ace. Are you there? What? Um. Hope this isn't copyrighted. Brandon Ace, I believe your music is on. Let's turn it off. Please, can you turn off the music? Can you please turn off the music? Thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to make my entrance, as always.
But please refrain from using copyrighted music on this show.
Fair enough. Apologies. I just
Um,
want to make an entrance.
well, that is the apparently Brendan Ace felt he needed to make his entrance here on our talk show. Hello, Brendan Ace. It is good to see you once again here on All Star Talk.
Greetings. Well, I'm not
Um,
really see you again. Let's just hope you do your job right, like it was the last time.
I try.
But
I always do my job right.
except you call it Brooklyn's finest or Baltimore's finest. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're pretty much the same place.
No, it's not.
BB, potato, potato. Anyway, sure you have a lot to talk about. We have your apprentice, I think is what you would call her, Amber Young, with her partner, Tada Miyazuki, as the Blazing Baddies, finally defending their tag team titles. They're currently in a 36-day reign. Uh, are do you well, let's just start with that. Do you feel that they're going to lose it here tonight to Switchblade Rage and Eva Cyanide?
Uh, it's hard to say, but I think with pressure is on, that's what Amber's at her best. And I think we're gonna find out because I'm gonna remain neutral in that match.
Yes, because we do know you are in a relationship with Switchblade Rage, with her having this is be one of her first matches she has, because as we know, due to situations of other tag teams being unable to be a part of last week's triple threat match, it was made to be where Switchblade Rage and Cyanide would tag team, and they made the opportunity worthwhile by winning the whole match. And so now Switchblade has an opportunity at this point in her career in All Star Wrestling to not after if she can win tonight, also go off and win the Starlets champion and be the first ever wrestler in All Star Wrestling to hold two championships at one time. Last time we saw someone try this, it was your partner Michael Carter. Do you think Switchblade Rage has the ability to do what Carter couldn't?
Of course, like I've been watching her all over the place, and trust me, she can do it. Like come going into that match, her and Ivy were pretty much the underdogs in that match because they were the only team with no experience. Everyone pretty much picked either the Birds of Prey or Dark Reflection.
Mm, mm. Well,
Oh,
it'll definitely be interesting to see how that plays out. I've heard you're still frantically trying to find your partner, as that man has yet to show up.
sadly, yes, it's hard to look for that man for some unknown reason.
Well, have you had any contact with him in any way?
Sadly, I haven't called his phone, wouldn't answer, everything. I might have to, I might have to find like, might have to go up to his friends or family's house to see where the hell he's at.
Well, it will be very difficult to have a rematch if you have to fight by yourself. Management can only wait for so long to give you your rematch clause, and if you don't have a
Yeah,
partner, you can't get it.
yeah, that
Well,
is scary.
well,
Also, also I am speaking on behalf of my woman, Switchblade Rage. Any questions you want to ask about her?
well, we already asked about the situation of her being possibly going into not only just winning those tag team titles with her partner tonight, but also possibly becoming a double champion. I think we pretty much run what we had to say about Switchblade Rage. I mean, she's been doing
Yeah,
exceptionally well, especially around the end of the season and going into this new season. She hasn't lost a match yet. She has been just dominant, and she's looking to take all the gold here in All Star Wrestling. Um, and it definitely would be
agreed.
an interesting thing to see what happens here tonight. I if she can get those titles. I do like to talk about how you feel about how last week went. During last show of All Star before the show, you it was on that day we were going to see an open challenge, but due to our management booked the match, uh, uh, with the paperwork, it was left open for anybody to come out, no matter who it was, no matter how many people. And you said yourself, if there was an opportunity, you were going to take it, which you did, and the made the match a triple threat, but unfortunately you could not get the victory, and it was Daisuke who is now in a title match here tonight. Do you feel jealous in any way?
A little bit, but I ain't making no excuses.
Have heard that
Making no
the
ex-
champion
I ain't making no.
himself is not happy with you interfering in that match, and I do believe we actually have him tonight. I'm sure you guys will have some words. Premier Pretty, are you available?
1 second. Before he starts speaking, let me get my earplugs. Oh boy. Okay, I'm
Yes,
ready.
yes, 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 baby. Yes, I am here.
Hello, Premier Pretty, openweight
How are you?
champion,
How are you?
the
How
man
are
who
you?
it was made known last night. You have currently broken. You have set two. You have done the record twice. You have been the first man now to hold the openweight title twice. You have broken the record for longest for holding the title the longest twice. It seems two is your number. And before we get with you between Brandon Ace, two seems to be your number right now. It seems to be your lucky number. But will three be your number tonight when you have your title match? When can you get the 3 count and beat Daisuke?
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Brandon Ace brought up a really important thing that you said. You can never get nobody's name right. First of all, Brooklyn does not sound like Be More. There's two different phrases. They are the Be More finest, not the Brooklyn finest. Get it right. Nobody from Brooklyn would never step foot in Be More. You know why? Because it's trashy, it smells, and it stinks. Now,
Interesting
back,
development.
shut your mouth,
No,
peasants.
no, thank
Shut
you.
your damn mouth. See, you have a problem.
No, no, no.
No,
You
no, 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 no,
shut
no.
up. The
You
only
shut
person
up.
who told me to shut up is my parents, and your
You shut
pussy
up.
is not my parent. Thank you very much.
Listen here, asswad. You had to stick your nose where it don't belong. You had to, didn't you? Didn't you? Next
Hey,
time, keep your ass out of my match. But back to you, boss, or whatever the hell you do here.
here's my
I
reaction
am
to
I
that.
am the announcer and
My
interviewer.
small violin playing for you, as in I do not give a shit. I
Let me
look
show
at
you
an
something.
opportunity and I chose to took it, and I lost. I took the L, and
You know,
you didn't get pinned, so you should be happy.
you know why you took the
What are
L?
you
Because
crying
you
about?
suck. But anyway, this is my interview. I'm talking to the interview person. So you sit there and shut the hell up. Anyways, back to your
Make
question,
me.
sir. Back to your back to your
Um,
question, sir.
I was saying that as of right now, it seems the number two seems to be your lucky number. You've broken the record for longest title reign with the open weight title. You have now you have been the first man to hold the open weight title twice. Two seems to be your lucky number, but tonight when you fight against Daisuke, another man who has at this point from since last season till now has been undefeated. Can't will three be your number, and will you be able to pin him?
See, I'm not walking in this match worried about being lucky number one, lucky number two, lucky number three. It's all about dissecting your opponent. Like I tell everybody else. And I'm going to keep on saying it. It takes one MO. It takes one kick pretty. And make sure you get the name right. It's a kick pretty, not pretty kick. Get it right. Either way, it takes one of those.
Well, oh, you definitely seem confident in this match. Ouch, in the main event, you will be defending the open weight title for the first time. I'm in this new season we find ourselves. Definitely, and management has made this statement now because of the new rule of the fact that only you can only get a rematch if you have defended it for, which you have. But management has made this statement, and this is coming from management mouth. You will not do what you did last time. There will be no last minute putting in your rematch clause. Uh, they have made that very clear.
Let me tell you something. Shut up and know your role. You tell management this, that I said this. I will do what I want, when I want, and how I want. So if I decide to sit here and use my rematch clause, I can buy this freaking company and kick everybody ass to the curb.
I don't know if you would be able to, due to the financial backing, I don't know if you would be able to buy All Star Wrestling.
First of all, hold on, Brian. Are you sleeping on my? Are you sleeping right now? Because yes, that's how
Yes,
boring you are. The only reason why you're
man, that's
tag,
how
only
boring you
reason
are.
why, the only reason why you are a tag team is because I haven't decided to take them belts. But
Please,
trust me,
please.
I have families who's coming here, and trust me, my family is stronger than every single faction that's in this company. And that little chick or whoever you dating, your wife, your girlfriend, your boo boo, your mistress, your whore, your slut,
Oh hell no.
about
You
time,
fuck. See,
about
this is
time.
me and you.
My
I'm
cousin
gonna.
gets through with her, she gonna be
Okay,
nothing
okay,
but a
okay.
bottom bitch
We about to
whore.
catch someone drop, someone hold my stuff.
No, hold on,
Premier, we
guys.
about
Hold
to
on. No,
catch
no,
these
no. We don't
hands.
fight
We
on
about
this
Let
to
me tell you
show.
catch
something.
We
Let
don't
me
fight
tell you
on this
hold
something.
show.
You
But
don't
me
want
catch.
these problems. You don't want these problems, sir.
You
I
don't want
advise
none
you
of
to
this
sit there,
business, boy. I'm
sit
from
down,
Baltimore. I'm
and
from
shut
that
up.
hood. You ain't
all
Let
about
me
right.
tell
that
you
life,
something.
boy.
I am from
You ain't
Brooklyn.
about
I'm from
that.
Flatbush, son. You don't want these problems. You don't want
You
these
don't want these
problems.
problems. You don't want this either. I'm from the
Matter of
hood. I'm
fact,
from these
matter
streets.
of fact, I want you to sit there and relay this message to the boss. After I beat this little pencil geek, square looking nerd bitch boy, I'm coming after your ass.
Bring
Oh,
it. I ain't afraid of your
And
bitch ass. Come on.
I'm gonna beat your ass Brooklyn style.
oh boy. All right,
I
guys.
like to
Let's
see you
get some
try.
order in here. I'm sure management will be able to settle this. This. Premier Pretty, I'm sure you have a title match you need to worry about. It's very interesting to say that you have people coming here.
Oh,
I'm
girl.
sure we'll hear more about that. Brandon Ace, I thank you for your. I hope that things continue to go well for you.
No problem.
I see you later, scrub.
Uh, go kiss my black ass.
All right. Well, very interesting. Oh Lord.
Oh wait, hold up. There's one thing I want to say
Someone brought a
when it comes
dog
to
to All
sleep.
Star Wrestling.
One thing I want to
Who
add.
let that mutt in the building?
Nothing wrong with dogs.
I
I
believe
like
that
dogs.
was formerly G.I. Jane. Jade.
Yeesh.
Former member of BOP, which is actually somebody we are gonna have an interview with right about now. I see that you brought your dog. I don't know if this building allows animals. Hold on, I don't think you're gonna be catching.
It doesn't matter if y'all don't allow it. See, my dog King, he comes with me wherever I go.
Well, Uh, as long as, like I said, he's not making any messes. But speaking of BOP, as I just mentioned before, we did mention we have seen BOP is no longer on. You don't need to bring that up. You don't need to bring up what was it? BOP is no longer no more. Unfortunately, so that means you will not be in Samantha's corners tonight, but you have already found a new partner. You will be. It's been, and I want to let you go ahead and tell the people who that is.
See, BOP will always BOP will always be, there in spirit because we are still very much close knit and very much friends. But now I do have a new partner because another woman that I am very close with, that we've gotten close with back in the locker room, is Dawn Lightning Knight. And we have our new tag team, which I cannot wait for the ladies back in the locker room to experience because I believe that we are going to be a force to reckon with. We both have some power to us. Um, and I like to do my flips and everything too to add to it, but I think our mix of personality is going to be real good. Um, our tag team name is Jaded Lightning.
Oh, definitely seems to be an interesting force that we have here. A lot of things going on with the tag division, and the women's title, and I'm sure you saw, but last night it was also determined that your title reign, you're the first ever, you being the first ever Starlets champion, you had a record of 68 days, and at this point, no one has broken it. But it looks like that might happen if we don't see Pines show up here in All Star Wrestling and have her title match before the 8 days are up. She is at 60 days currently.
Okay, and that's still, I mean, who is to say that me and Dawn can't get that either? Because we're tag teams, yes, but that doesn't mean we can't have both the tag team championship and the women's championship.
That is true. There is no holding back to what title someone can go for. Anyone is allowed to go for any title. But I can't wait to see what you and Don, the watcher of All Star Wrestling, has to offer for the tag division as well, and continuing to see what you both have to offer for the singles division. With that being said, thank you for showing up here in All Star Wrestling. Please try to make sure your dog doesn't make any mess.
My dog will destroy this area.
Well, thank you. And with that, we was GI with
Excuse me.
Jade,
Excuse me.
Brandon Nace, yes.
One thing I want to say before I got rudely interrupted by Premier Pussy, the tag team name of Ivy and Bloody Rage will be called Anger with a GIF. That's the tag team name that Bloody Rage wanted me to say.
All right then. Well, we cannot wait to see what anger with a GIF can do.
And oh yeah, this is a warning to Premier Pretty. If I see you on the streets, I am going to take you out like the little bitch that you are. Now I'm done.
All right. Well, with that being said, I believe we're going to get to our final person of tonight. Where we will see. We're going to hear from Dylan Travis. Okay, that's it.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, Dylan Travis, member of Fallen Kingdom and our current All-Star Wrestling champion. It's great to see you here now. Things have been a little bit of a rough start for you starting off the new season. Your first match here in the new season, and you lose to the first man to hold the All-Star Championship. How does that affect you mentally?
You know, I can admit when I lose, we all lose. We can't win every match possible, and we need to think. When I was in that, when I was with 5 other men in that Hell in a Cell, adrenaline was high. I was prepared. I knew what I was coming against. I trained. When it came to Nick Nitro, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't train as much as I should. I don't think I thought of how well-minded this guy is coming into the fight. And I misjudged. We all misjudge sometimes, but I can voluntarily say that now I am mentally prepared, and hopefully I can hold this championship, and we'll see where things go with it.
Well, currently you are a 36-day reign. His title reign, though, about doubled yours. Going to 67 days. It'll be interesting if you can be finally the man to break that reign. So tonight you will be in a tag team match with go with your part with one member of Fallen Kingdom, Malcolm Black. You'll be facing off against this will be the first time you two been in the ring here in All Stars since since you both were in Ragnarok. Do you think that I want to talk about that? You two, of course, you said that you guys are stronger than ever after that. Do you think this will Do you think that you two fighting in that match, that big horrendous match, strengthened you two in this tag team match?
Well, of course, coming into this tag team matching, obviously that Ragnarok match, I did say when I last spoke to you that me and Malcolm are closer than ever, when we still are. Nothing's changed. In fact, last night we teamed in another company, and in fact we picked up the victory, and now we're getting the opportunity to team up again. So it's just gonna keep making this bond stronger and stronger for the Fallen Kingdom. And realistically, when it comes to Nick Nitro and whoever his tag team partner is tonight, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
It is your currently your number one contender, Eric Rose.
Oh, Eric Rose. Okay, so he must have a new like clothing or an attire because I must have mistaken the look. But when it comes up to these two, you know, Nick Nitro, Eric Rose. I've faced Eric Rose in the past. I've lost. I've faced Nick Nitro in the past. I've lost. I've got a lot on my shoulders tonight. I've got to prove to them two and everyone in the crowd why I am gonna beat Nick Nitro's reign, and in fact possibly come your longest champion ever in All Star Wrestling. And now it's going to be hard for people to swallow that because obviously me picking up my loss against Nick Nitro, but I can well and truly say that everyone loses. It wasn't for the championship, so there's no sweat off my forehead.
Yes, well, you're right. It wasn't for the title, but that definitely put Nick Nitro definitely in the maybe in the conversation for the championship. Does that make you nervous that, even if you can get past Eric Rose and Crypto, you might still have to deal with Nick Nitro?
Exactly that, you know. Eric Rose, Crypto, Nick Nitro, all these people that have held this championship well and truly. I wouldn't classify Crypto as such a big champion considering he used his cash-in clause in order to pick up that victory. In fact, I beat Lance Romance and then he came and picked up my rubbish, pick up the victory. So that's just my opinion on that. But Nick Nitro, when I first turned up here, he was champion. He held that championship for a good amount of time. And when it came to Eric, he's just a little pussy boy. What can I say about him? But I give respect to Nick Nitro. I give respect to him.
Now, with talking like that, it seems that you're overlooking Eric Rose. Do you feel that might be a mistake?
No. You see, me and Eric go back way back to another company where he's defeated me multiple times, but we're now in a new season, we're in a new year, and we're in a different environment. You know, this is All-Star Wrestling. You know, I'm currently the champion. If Eric obviously tries to take this championship off me, I'm going to be prepared. I've faced this guy too many times now to know what he's going to do. And in fact, I don't think he's going to change his style. You know, he's a little cruiserweight. They all do the same thing, even big strikes or big flips. And I'm going to be there to catch him and then put him on the ground and show him who the real boss is around here. You know, it's just going to happen. And I can't do anything about that because that's who I am. If someone steps up to me, I'm going to have to put him down.
Well, you definitely seem confident in what you're going to be doing tonight. I wish you good luck in your tag match as you'll be starting off our show. I'm sure you're prepared for that as well as
physically.
yeah. At this point, I mean, at this point, you at least know. I want to end this thing off with this last question. At this point, you got two people who currently have a shot for your title. You got Crypto with his rematch, and you got Eric with his with his Eric Rose with his number one contendership. And it was already made that whenever that match happens, it will be no disqualification match, strict rules, whatever. It's going to be a match where y'all can do whatever the hell you want and hurt each other. Which match do you think is going to end up happening first? Who do you think is going to get less patient of waiting and just be like they want you now? Who do you think is less patient?
When it comes to a rematch clause, you wait. You can wait whenever you want. Realistically, Hell Crypto could wait until the big event of All Star Wrestling. You know, the end of the year, the big finale show that ends the year off. He could wait for realistically until he wants. You know, he could wait till 2 seasons time, next season's time. Because I don't think a rematch clause like disappears. Does it?
Hmm.
So he could be, you know, he could hold on to that. Then that would mentally be a thing he could hold against me. Then I wouldn't know when he's gonna, you know, advance to this rematch clause. Or hey, if I get beat eventually, which I won't, but if somehow I do, he could use that against other champions. I think Crypto can wait, but I think when it comes to Eric wants to prove why he's the dominant cruiserweight, why he can apparently beat the majority of these heavyweights in All Star or hell of it in our community. Well, reality check once again that Eric might have beaten me multiple times, but I've already said in the past, new year, I'm a different guy. He's got a lot coming, so I think Eric will probably, his patience will run very thin because he's a little pussy boy like that, and he just likes to try and intimidate people. Well, it's just a little recycled character, isn't it? Gimmick. Where you act all dark, you act all mysterious in the shadows, and then you try and scare someone like you're a Halloween outfit. It just doesn't work with me. I scrap these people who think they're a gimmick or who think that they are some mysterious shadow man, and I'll bring them into the light and I'll show them who I am, because I know who I am. I'm the master plan, Dylan Travis. But I don't think Eric knows who he really is.
Well, definitely interesting and confident words from our champion. But we are out of time here, and I would like for you, and I can't wait to see what you have planned here tonight. With you, as you always say, you seem to always have a plan. You are the master plan.
Indeed, I am.
Well, everyone, I do believe we are. That is all we have for this time. We have a great show here tonight. I do know we are going to be seeing some great matches. I do believe we'll be able to hear from our head of creative or our Mr. Black.
Wait a second.
Yes.
There was one thing I was going to mention just as I was walking away there. I heard something earlier on from a guy, Chance Nightwalker.
Yes.
Yeah. He claims that Alpha are going to be holding these tag team championships.
Yes, he did say that Alpha will. It seems that he's indicating that Alpha will hold all titles.
And he also goes to say that no one likes the Fallen Kingdom. Well, Chance, if you are somehow listening, we ain't here to be liked. In fact, the Fallen Kingdom don't give two shits if we're liked by anyone. We don't need this ego. We don't need to be on this massive high horse for everyone to somehow like us, to give us credit. We'll do whatever we want. In fact, I'm not certain that the Kingdom will get these tag team championships before you're even a thought, Chance. Alpha's a big name, don't get me wrong, but Chance Nightwalker, not so big as the faction's name. I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna prepare, and I'm gonna prove tonight in this tag team match, while you're just mentally thinking of what could be, I'm gonna prove. I'll catch you later.
Well, then, a very interesting situation there between Alpha and Fallen Kingdom.
Hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Now, Dylan, I fuck with Fallen Kingdom, believe that. But, he also called, Reckless Intent boring, which is funny because, yo, Chance, it's funny, bro. You call us boring. Yeah, I have not seen you do one thing. And there's one thing that I can't stand about Alpha is they got a whole stick up their butt cheeks. They're thinking about that they're better than everybody else. Well, newsflash for you, Chance. I'm from Italy, and from Italy, bro, we have honor. And right now, you just said my family. So how about this? Let's make a little wager. You feel me? A little wager. How about next week, 1-on-1, you versus the entire madman, Franco Ricci? Because I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, man, I'm in the fighting mood right now. And all that talk you've been talking about, bro, I just want to put my knees to your jaw. So let it be known. You can think about it all week. You have until Friday to accept this challenge. Because if you don't, I'm going to come knock on your door and then beat the hell out of you my damn self.
Well, then, the challenge has been laid down by Reckless member Franco. as he looking to get a piece of one half of the tag team champions next week. Will management allow the match? Will Chance Nightwalker accept the challenge? We only time
Well,
will.
well, 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 well.
Oh
We don't
well.
even have to wait. Franco, I don't know if you've been paying attention or not, but you said you haven't seen me do one thing. I choked out your last partner, Sinistrad, in one of my debut matches. So if you want to go one-on-one with the Las Vegas asshole, I'll choke you the fuck out too.
See, that's a problem with you youngins. Talking about choking. We can go hand in hand. Whether it's choking or not, you gonna get these knees. Again, knees to the face, to the jaw. Yeah, you typed out the big homie Sinistrat. Big deal. But you would never choke out the time man.
Yeah, I'll choke you out. I'll knock you out. It doesn't matter which way you go, Franco. All right, look, I've been doing this a lot longer than you think. I've battled with a lot more badder men than you. I look at you and all I see is a pencil neck twerk waiting for me to snap it.
You call me a pencil network. James, let me tell you something about me, bro. I'm from Italy, bro. I'm from Italian Madman, bro. I come from
You're
the
the
streets,
Italian
bro.
madman. Hey,
I'm the
I'm in
best, bro.
Italy
Think about it,
3
Chance.
times a
You don't
year.
know nothing about me, B. I come from the streets, bro. I was a former high ranker of my own family mafia, and people fear me because you know I got
Former.
from Hero Day.
That's adorable.
Ain't nothing bro.
Former.
I ain't know what. No. The matter of fact, Chance, ain't no talking no more, bro. Like I said, accept my challenge, and I do my shit in the ring. Let it be known, B.
I've
Let it be
already
known.
accepted your challenge, bro. I told you I'll
All right,
choke you out.
no talking,
Me
then,
and
man.
you
Ain't
next
talking no
week.
more, bro.
Me and you next
Oh.
week. I'll knock you out.
Yeah,
Well.
we gonna see who's gonna knock you till. You gonna see who knocked out, bro. I got
All
you.
disrespect intended. These dice is loaded.
Chance, you don't know, man. You in the world of hurt.
This
Believe
Hey,
that.
we'll see you next week. I
Well.
hope you got your insurance ready.
Well, I think I hear Jay laughing somewhere. My gosh, that was an interesting situation there. Things are really heating up in the singles, the tag, the starlets everywhere. It's heating up. With as we've heard, we have a new head of creative. We have the championships have finally come in. They got a new look. We got a great card here tonight. Right, with as we already know, we've heard it a few times. Fallen Kingdom going up against Nick Nitro and Eric Rose. We got one half of next after that we have one half of Dark Reflection, Sarah Troy going up against Dawn Knight. After that we're gonna be seeing Dom Daniels going up against Christian Tracy. Of course, he'll have his members of Reckless with him. After that, we'll be seeing the other half of Reckless, no, the other half of Dark Reflection going up against Samantha Young. Following that match, we're going to see Crypto, the former world champion, take on Tiny Boy. Can Tiny Boy make up for his last loss and get a big victory over a former champion? We'll find out. Co-main event, the Starlets tag team titles on the line. The very interesting tag team, the debuting, the second time these two going at it. We got Eva Cyanide and Switchblade Rage taking on the Blasian Baddies in tag team action. Can the Blasian Baddies defend their titles? This will be the first case of a champion who has yet with this new rule. Oh, remember, if the champions do not defend these titles, this is the first case of it. They do not get a rematch. They will have to earn their way back to those titles just like everyone else. And in the main event, Daichi Kenichiro has earned himself an opportunity by winning the Open Challenge match last week. It was a triple threat match. He didn't pin the champion though. But can he do it tonight and take the openweight title from Premier Pretty for the third time? He would have lost that title. We'll see what happens. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of All Star Talk, and I will see you all next week with it. But we're about to get into All Star Wrestling.